Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri, and is the world's first single barrel only liquor store. This business is owned and operated by Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution list. That way you'll know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and what barrel picks they have in the works. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we discuss the impact Instagram had on so many non-distilling key players in bourbon today. My name is Nick New. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Katie Joyce, Nate Weiniger, and Ryan Thompson.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hey,
What's up, guys?
Hello.
Hello. So yeah, we're going to be talking today about Instagram. If you look back 10 years ago, a decade ago, mostly there's a lot of people that were just posting photos of bottles and stuff they were drinking and going to distilleries that are now in the bourbon business. Very interesting stuff. So we'll talk about that after the break. For right now, though, we want to get into a question that I got from a listener. This is Sean Beckett, I believe. I went to school, I always say this, I went to school with Terry Beckett. She spells it the same way, but he says it Bequette. So Sean Bequette.
Yeah.
You think so? What about Terry Beckett? Is she saying her name wrong? Should I call her? Should I call her and tell her she's...
Maybe her family chose to say it wrong. It's okay. Let them...
I do the same thing with Mueller. All the families I went to high school with say Miller, not Mueller.
Right.
For that. And so I just call it Miller. And people are like, it's Mueller. There's a UE. And I'm like,
Right.
sorry. I'm Missouri.
Yes. Yeah.
How is this last name spelled?
Bequuette.
It's a cool last name. Give him that.
I
like that.
French, maybe? French, I would guess.
Right.
All right. So he says, when you're sharing samples with friends, what is the appropriate size container to do so? So I talk about something I'm drinking here. You guys are like, I'd really like to get a taste of that. And I'm like, okay, I will get you some next time I see you. And I pour it out. What's the appropriate sample size?
Depends on how much I like you.
So say,
yep.
Good answer.
I have varying degrees from 1 ounce, maybe even less, all the way up to like a 6 ounce sample.
Really?
That I'll send
Also,
someone.
Katie, not only how much you like it, but what you're sampling, what you're pouring for them as well.
Is it something that's like a Missouri whiskey that I can just go buy at the grocery store? Or is it something that I'm truly never going to get this bottle again?
Right. Huh.
But I think on average, maybe I'd say a 2 ounce pour, 1.5 ounce, 2 ounce.
All right. 2 ounce.
Yeah, I'd say 2 ounces what I always default to.
I think 2 ounces is fair because like you can buy those little like those sample bottles in bulk from Amazon. We had a lot of them at a time, but like we shared a lot, and I was like, oh shit! Like if you do a lot of 2 ounce pours, that bottle goes kind of quick. But if I really like you, that's fine. So like my cousin's husband, he's getting into bourbon. Like I will give Matt all the 2 ounce pours he wants in the world. Like
all
it's
right.
fine.
2 ounce pour. Okay, that seems right. All right, Nate, what do you think? You seem to be a little bit of an expert in this area. You're always willing to share your collection. It's about sharing. So what would you...
I do think it has to do with 2 things. Ryan said it, like, what am I pouring? So if it's like a Michter's 20,
yeah,
and there's maybe, it depends on how many people want to try it too. I mean, if I give everybody a 1 ounce sample, I can give 26 people, or 26 people a sample of it. If I, if it's something
out of the
else
blue,
like
I reach out to you and just say, hey, Nate, this is Steve. You're coming to Kentucky. I'm coming to Kentucky. I really want to try that Michter's 20. What would you bring?
I'd probably bring the bottle if it was you, Steve.
Oh, man.
There you go.
Hello.
I actually did bring a bottle out to Kentucky last time at Michter's 20, and we drank a pretty good hefty amount of that. No, I mean, I would, I'd say, yeah, I'd bring you a couple ounces of it. I also think it's about, like you said, who's it with? Am I having the sample with you? Are we sitting down? Because I'm probably just going to bring the bottle. We're just going to drink.
Yep.
Drink
So
it.
I think that's a good point, Nate. Like, are we going to hang out and drink together, or like, am I shipping it to you, or handing it off to you? You're going to drink it later. I think that's a really good point too.
Right.
Yeah. The 2 ounces is a typical, I think. Most people have the 2 ounce pours. That's typically the 2 ounce little bottles. I do have some 1 ouncers too, but I think I've always in the past, if it's someone just like wanting to taste something and from the club or something like that, I just share a 2 ounce pour with them.
2 ounce pour. Okay, there you go. So listener Sean, there you go. 2 ounce pour. That seems to be the prevalent answer, though there could be some extending circumstances that get you to change that. So there you go. There's our official answer. On that note, guess what, gang? It is time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with McNew. McNew, what do you got?
Okay, so look how cute this bottle is. With a little puppy on it.
It's a pity.
It's a pity. So it's a single barrel pick from Vine and Table out of Indianapolis, and $10 of every bottle goes to the Humane Society of Hamilton County.
Wow,
So
$10 is good.
4 paws straight bourbon whiskey. So
That's a lot of money.
I know it was like a $30 bottle, and they're donating 10, so that's freaking awesome. But
Anything for dogs.
yeah, anything for the dogs.
Okay. Also a good cork pop.
Great pop too. Look at
That's
that.
unbeatable. I can't beat that. We all know that.
McNew has the lead. Nate, what do you got?
Well, again, I know we're recording on Bottle and Bond Day. I've got some J. Dant, some really tasty stuff here. So
Okay. Screw top. All right. Ryan, do you want to try or do you just want to pass?
Well,
I want to open it.
I am going to strategically pick my next one that has a screw top because there's not a chance in hell I'm ever going to beat McNew on that. So I'm just going to go a little mellow corn here.
Mellow corn.
Okay.
Strategic screw top. There it is.
All right. I'll go next. I got MB Roland. This is a barrel pick I picked up at their gift shop. It's not our barrel pick. So this is from them. So here we go. Nothing there. Squeak. Tiny pop. McNew still has the lead, but Katie has to go still. Katie, what do you got?
I've got a bottle of Baby Jane from Widow Jane.
That's so
Okay.
cute.
I know, isn't it adorable?
Ooh, that was very good. Very good.
Better
Katie,
than expected,
you
but-
should have saved that because that was a good one, but only good for second place. McNew wins.
Here we go.
Here's guys to the pitties too.
Here's-
All right, we'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to be talking about Instagram, 8, 9, 10 years ago, and what's happened to some of the people since then. We'll do that in just a few. Let's talk about the people who make these shows happen. First up is the ABV Barrel Shop. It is the most unique shopping experience in the world of bourbon, as the ABV Barrel Shop only sells single barrels. Owners Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot select. With over 100 distilleries on board to sell us barrels, we are home to the most unique and diverse barrel pick selections in the bourbon world. By signing up for our email, you will always know what we have in stock. In addition to the single barrels, we'll have a gift shop featuring ABV Barrel Shop as well as ABV Network merchandise. We are partnering with vendors like Art Eatables and Old Man Bay Signs to bring you unique items you can't find anywhere else. We will also have a 24-seat classroom where we are offering educational and fun classes like Breakfast and Bourbon, a series where we pair donuts and bourbon, customer barrel picks, and opportunities to learn from master distillers and other bourbon dignitaries. Best of all, we feature a tasting bar where you can try before you buy. All of this is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. If you are in the St. Louis area, please stop by to say hi. If you're traveling in from outside the area, please take advantage of our hotel rates with the Drury Inn and Pear Tree Inn, less than a mile from our shop. This can be done via the links in our Visit St. Louis section on our website. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to plan your trip. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. Hi, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network. We're sponsored by the Stave and Thief Society. This is where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge a bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification program available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Okay, let's talk about the Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent trips to Kentucky. Today, he is amongst the leaders of young distillers leaving their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery yields insight on their unique family history, why their products are special, and gives you the opportunity to taste their whiskey, moonshine, and creams. Check them out at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com or visit them in Sparta, Kentucky.
Hello, this is Danny Kennard, and I'm recording on the ABV network.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about Instagram and its original bourbon influencers.
Yes.
Anybody there calls ourselves influencers.
There's a lot of breakout stars from Instagram. People that were just definitely into bourbon. People like Nate here. I mean, he starts out as a guy, just a bourbon fan. He's on Instagram posting stuff, and he's got his club and stuff like that. But you never know he's going to be in the bourbon business one day. But yeah, look at him now.
I wouldn't be on this podcast without Instagram.
Instagram, yeah, there you go. Yeah. I was a guy. I mean, I was drawing pictures of people with no artistic talent just so someone would notice me, trying to get people to buy my books when I started. Please, here, I'll draw a picture of you, buy one of my books. So yeah. But now look at the whole bourbon thing going.
I think I've met almost everyone in bourbon through Instagram in some way. It's been rare that has been outside of that, honestly.
Right.
Even like this bottle of Baby Jane I bought when I was at the Widow Jane Distillery. I was there with Whiskey Wednesday's group, which group of friends all met each other through Instagram. And then when I was there, Steve's name got brought up. I think John, my boyfriend, had on an ABV network hat. And so that got brought up again, found what's your hint at the Instagram connections there? So even while in the distillery, Instagram came up.
Yeah. You look at OJ Lima, again, just a guy who appreciated bourbon, now he's, in the business, got an online liquor store. So there's a lot of stories like that.
Well, you think about Jess too, like Fred Minnick's old assistant. She's selling barrels now. Like Jess is killing it. She's bourbon insider on Instagram.
Nate Woodruff, a lot of cool pictures, and now, is working with several brands and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Yeah.
Like he's living his best life in a barn in Wyoming now because of Instagram.
Right.
Wild, yeah.
Napolitano. I mean, I was talking to that guy before he was ever doing anything on Instagram, via Instagram.
Yeah.
Meet Napolitano. He doesn't have a bourbon festival at that time. He's reaching out to me saying that's something he's interested in. But ultimately, that's what he does. So yeah, that's another one.
I mean, for me, I was thinking about this. It's actually a very, very interesting question. So, 5280, we started prior to me getting on Instagram, but I will 100% say that there's several relationships that I built with other whiskey consumers and people that were, some in the business, some not in the business, some, all different walks of life. And it was definitely through Instagram when I think back on it, a lot of the messaging and connection, some of that. I definitely with 5280 being on there now, and it has been, I think our first post was in 2016, end of the year, 2016 maybe. But yeah, it's amazing that platform. I think got it on platforms, and it still stays pretty strong to today. I would say. I know there's TikTok and Facebook, but even with Facebook, there's some Facebook groups and whatnot, but it's not the same. I mean, Instagram.
No, that's just designed so you can yell at people. And
and Facebook is just like angry old men and
just people pissed off.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's no bigger example of what Instagram did for someone than Miss Becca Sue. I mean,
she came on the show because she was swallowing dimes.
She posted a video of herself trying to swallow some dimes, and it didn't work. And I just told her I thought it was funny, and then we started chatting, and then she comes on the show, and then she meets Royce Neely, and then she gets married. I mean, now she's in the industry. I mean, and people love her. There's people coming to that distillery because of her. I mean, she's a big deal in the business. So it's cool. It's very cool. Yeah.
And I don't think that Instagram launched the bourbon adjacent market, but it certainly sped it up, right? And gave a lot of a cool platform for people to connect on. So,
yeah.
But it was there. It was always there in some aspect, but Instagram just provided a cool way to speed it up, I think. So
I guess, I mean, yeah, I mean, if there was no Instagram, do we think all these people would be where they're at today? I mean, there's a lot of Blake Reber. I mean, there's tons of people that were just on Instagram.
I think it's cool because like we jump on here every Friday night or whatever, and like I maybe like not talk to you all week, but like I like Instagram because like I can just like reply to somebody's story and it feels like, oh, I talked to you today. That was nice. Like I feel like it just keeps people connected. Like bourbon connects people, Instagram connects us more in a way sometimes.
Right.
So I like that.
You wonder what even the impact of, and let's go big here, Jackie's ICANN. So say there's no Instagram. Is she as big today as she is without it? Because it gives her that personal connection. She'd still have the cool job. It has nothing to do with the work she did at Old Forester. It's nothing to do with the fact she's with Hidden Barn today. But it does make you feel a connection to her that definitely ratchets up the coolness and the accessibility. And I mean, that's the platform she's on. I assume she's on Facebook and all that kind of stuff. But her focus is on Instagram definitely for her personal stuff. So
yeah, like you can see a story
player.
and be like, oh, she did a really cool thing today. Like that's fun to see. Yeah.
Yeah, she does, I think, the best job of taking you into her personal life without getting personal. You know, I think you don't, you think you know her, but in reality, she has a very private life too that you don't get from Instagram. So she just does a great job of that. And again, that's all Instagram driven. So
I think that's the uniqueness and what's been the big success of the platform is that the highly polished accounts that look like professional marketing aren't necessarily the ones that actually have the truest success. It's the people who can find that line of making the personal connection in there that really, I think, is the most authentic use of it for one, and why we all stay on the platform too.
Right.
You
So
know,
there you go.
when I first started it, I couldn't disclose that it was my Instagram because of my job too for the longest time. So, it was just 5280 whiskey, and then it was like, is that the society? What is that? But it's, it is my personal too. But I've actually geared it more towards 5280 as of recent and the last year, and really posted more about some of our events and educational events and some of the people that have come out and presented and done some of that, and less of the bottle posting that in the beginning, that's what I was doing. That's what we were all like. It was like posting bottles that you got or opening bottles and whatnot and a lot of bottle pictures. So I think it's also evolved and come a long way.
So I feel like it's evolved to be more personal because like I don't want to follow accounts that only post bottles. I want to be like, what's your face look like? What are you doing today? Where'd you go last week? Like I like that personal connection that it kind of gives you. So if they're only like posting shelfies and bottles, I'm like, I'm not super interested in those accounts by any means.
Yeah. Agree.
So there you go. Instagram. It definitely played a big part in the bourbon boom, and not only growing bourbon itself, but helping individuals really make some key moves in the bourbon industry. And I certainly have benefited from that just as much as anybody else. So very, very cool stuff. So on that note, we're going to wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. And Katie, we're going to start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me over on Instagram at KatieProof.
Nate.
You can find me at 5280 Whiskey on Instagram and on hidden_barn, although Jackie does all the social media on that. So just to let you know.
She's killing it then. Like, I love that.
Yeah,
it's a great account to follow.
I take credit for that. Yeah.
All right, Ryan, how about you?
Across all socials at 10th MTN Whiskey. And our website's 10thwhiskey.com. It's 10th whiskey with an E.
McNew.
I'm on the Instagram at McNew ABV.
For me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check it out. Everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more. abvnetwork.com. Come by and see us, the ABV Barrel Shop. We've always got stuff going on. We are booked the next 2 months, solid, on all Saturdays and a lot of Thursdays, Fridays, with distillers coming in and just presenting their whiskey and talking about it. So check out our calendar. It can be found for our classes and events at abvbarrelshop.com and work that in when you come by and see us. So we look forward to seeing you in the St. Louis suburb of Arnold, Missouri. All right, McNew, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I would like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review. That includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. For audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Last but not least is the ABV Barrel Shop. While we don't get to play in the allocated bourbon game because we aren't selling the other products you have to do to get those, we do have access via our friendships in the bourbon industry to some really cool stuff. Have you ever seen your favorite craft distiller selling some really cool limited offerings only in their gift shop? I'm talking things like the Hazmat offering Distillery 291 did for their 10th anniversary, or Neely Family Distillery's Papaw's birthday barrel. They don't have enough of it to send it out to distributors, so they only sell it via their gift shop. Well, companies like Distillery 291 and Neely Family Distillery have agreed to sell us 2 or 3 cases of these offerings moving forward, meaning our store will have the access to some of the rarest whiskeys in the world. Way more difficult to come by than the allocated bourbon offerings with a national release. Yes, they will be extremely tough to come by, but if you're a customer of our store, you'll have a chance to get them. Get signed up for our email or text list over at abvbarrelshop.com so you don't miss out.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.